Lasciare traccia è uno dei desideri primitivi che ognuno di noi custodisce. Costruire una memoria che sopravviva a noi stessi quando non ci saremo più. Dare i nomi ai figli, tramandare racconti e tradizioni, disegnare, scrivere, fotografare sono tutte attività che ci aiutano a lasciare detto a quelli che verranno dopo: ecco, io sono questo. E soprattutto a rispondere all'eterna domanda: chi sono io? Per provare a rispondere a questa domanda sono andato a nord, a Copenaghen, in Danimarca, per incontrare una persona che quella domanda se la pone ogni volta che si trova davanti a una tela. Si chiama Gabriel ed è un pittore. Sono Matteo Caccia e in questa serie racconto le storie di 10 persone e 10 luoghi legati in modo vitale, imprevedibile ma necessario, come fossero destinati l'una all'altro.
Here we are. This is
the studio.
Yes, this is the studio. Welcome. Looking forward to showing you it.
This is exactly what I think when I think of a studio from an artist.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a bit messy,
Yeah.
but
Yes, that is very true.
this is where the magic happens.
Yes. Well, you could say. I think in my case, this is where all the frustrations are let out.
Oh, and this is it. I mean, because it's done, right?
This one, yeah, this one is done. I mean, is anything ever really done? You know what I mean? I think this is as good as I can, to my ability. I cannot do it any better than this. Well, this is also what is interesting about this method of painting. I think the name for it would be stain painting.
Okay.
Normally when you paint, you would put paint on a brush, and then you put it on a surface.
Okay.
And once you put it on a surface, you kind of push it around. You know, when you get water on your shirt, it absorbs into your clothes. This is the same way I paint. So if I make a mistake, let's say I put some color right there, it's over.
Sorry for the question.
Of course.
But does this painting has a meaning? I mean, to you?
I think when we're talking about, well, to me, when talking about this, I don't think it doesn't necessarily has a meaning. It maybe more invites you to have some kind of feeling.
Okay. Okay.
And that feeling then might have a meaning. Why are you feeling this when you look at that?
And so what kind of feeling is connected for you to this painting?
For me, I think it is the feeling of being smaller than something. I think this is bigger than I am. Do you notice how you can almost not move the paint anymore? Now it's stuck. So now
It's done.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do now. You cannot paint over it because it's just going to keep absorbing the paint. So
Really?
sometimes what happens is that even though to your eye it looks one way, it's going to look a different way later.
So it's all about something that absorbs something else.
Yes, and also there's something about leaving a mark, put it that way. There's something about the act of leaving something there that wasn't there. And also, I think it's something deeply human, I guess, to put some kind of mark on something.
Gabriel, what about these things that everywhere in the world they say that you here in Denmark are the super happiest population in the world?
I think in many ways I might be the wrong person to ask. Well, my honest view on that topic is that I think because of our standard of living and because of the way our government works, I think these statistics basically come from the fact that we have less things than other people have to worry about. Yeah, we don't have a very high crime rate and that kind of thing, and it's very safe to be here.
I saw this article from the New York Times says Denmark ranks as happiest country, but actually it's not that easy because you always talk about the fact that in winter, like the gray of the sky. This morning you told me, you see this is like 6-8 months a year.
Yeah.
And depression it's a big thing in winter time.
Yeah,
right?
Definitely. Winter depression is a thing where people their mood is heavily affected by the fact that the lack of light. At the same time, I am very inspired by the sky. However, this is kind of constant, if you know what I mean. Let's say you have a sun. Well, sunsets can also look like this, but you know where there's like a scatter of different clouds and different levels and therefore different colors. That for me is more inspiring, especially where you can see how the different colors fade into each other. That definitely has an impact on me.
La sua personale ricerca della felicità, Gabriel la fa passare attraverso la tela, i pennelli e una visione artistica del mondo intorno a lui. Nei giri che mi fa fare intorno alla città, mi porta a conoscere alcuni luoghi della sua vita, quelli più importanti, quelli che hanno dato forma alla sua esistenza e alla sua arte. E tra questi c'è un antico edificio di 3 piani nel centro della città. So how many times did you climb on these stages? Stairs?
Too many to count, to be honest. It was a great experience.
It's a 3-floor, right?
Yes, 1, 2, 3.
3.
So you can see it's very narrow, so carrying things you bang up. And this, actually, that's where all my friends would smoke cigarettes and drink beer at night. Yeah, it was a great experience.
Sounds like it was fun.
Very, very, very fun. Also very hard work.
So Gabriel, we are in a 3-story building in the center of Copenaghen. But tell me what you did in this building for 1 month 2 years ago.
2 years ago, I rented the entire building. I spent all my money. So it was this huge art show with lots of paintings, installations as well. And at night, the whole building would light up in red in a pulsating light. That was
so from the road, you could see just red windows.
Yes, and actually, this floor here was it was furnished as if it was an apartment, as if someone was living there. So behind over there was a bed, a cupboard, there was a laundry basket, plants, a stereo, wine, and some bottles on the table. Upstairs there was a sound installation where it's a black painting and there's a wire on it that works. And that was actually about Black Lives Matter. I think it took 11 days and nights.
Okay, and then you opened the door.
Opened the doors, and everything wasn't even done. Because then in the evening, as soon as I closed the doors, I would start working and running up and down the stairs again. And yeah, it just became this kind of space where people from all ages and all backgrounds, all levels of education, they just came in, and most people who came here, they came again. I think people just saw this place as, because you have to, for people who don't know, we are in the center of Copenhagen with all the big brands, Gucci, Apple, and all those guys are just around. And then there's this building that looked like it was falling apart on the inside, filled with art and installations. And I think people saw it like a place to breathe in the middle of everything else.
Wow, so you used to live in here?
Yeah. Because I didn't have any plans for this room.
How do you feel just being back here?
It feels like all the memories I have from this entire building is just some kind of illusion. I wouldn't even call it a dream, because dreams are primarily, in my mind, positive. I'm not saying that what happened in this building is a negative thing, but it just feels like it was in another dimension, like it didn't happen. It's so kind of weird.
But I'm sure that happened, that some guy who passed by did meet you in the last 2 years and talking about the exhibition. So actually, this illusion you were talking about, it is still living in people's memory.
Precisely. That's what I think is absolutely amazing, how something that may seem so distant and abstract in my mind lives on in somebody else's mind.
Le illusioni di cui parla Gabriel a volte sembrano riguardare ognuno di noi quando pensiamo alle nostre radici, ai nostri parenti lontani, quelli che hanno determinato la nostra presenza qui. Chi siamo? Da chi discendiamo? Chi ci ha aiutato ad essere le persone che siamo?
Your mother is Danish, right?
Yes, she's from Aalborg.
Aalborg. And your father comes from Nigeria, from Africa.
Yes.
They raised you like a Danish kid, I suppose, right?
I actually don't think so.
No?
I think they did their best to raise me as a child that they wanted me to be, with not any specific nationality. So my mother took some components from the Danish culture and said, yeah, I think he should have these things. And then my father did the same thing with the more British culture because he's lived in London for 20-something years. And then he also took some of the Nigerian things. Does it have anything to do with the specific style of painting? I don't know. I think it had a really big influence on me when it comes to talking to people. I don't understand all cultures in the world, of course I don't. But I have an understanding that cultures are different and that must be respected.
What about the culture? I mean, do you think you would have been a completely different artist if you were born, I don't know, not in Denmark, but in Italy, in France?
I definitely think so. Like growing up, I have definitely been influenced by the things that were accessible to me. Actually, my father always says, you're expressing yourself. Like expressing myself or trying to find something out about myself. I have always tried to ask questions. Why do I feel the way I do? Why did that particular thing touch me to such a degree that I want to then illustrate it in some kind of way?
Che cosa c'è di buono qui? Ecco, forse questo è un modo non tanto per scoprire la felicità, ma per uscire dalle sabbie mobili dell'incertezza. Nei nostri giri per la città, Gabriel mi ha portato in un locale lungo un canale in cui ci ha raggiunto Emile, un suo caro amico, a cui ovviamente ho girato gli stessi interrogativi e parlando con loro spunta una parola nuova, un termine che definisce una certa condizione di felicità. Hygge.
And how can you explain or translate the word hygge? It's right pronunciation?
Would you try? Yeah, hygge.
I've done it many times. Hygge is a sense of feeling at ease. At ease means you are content, you do not need anything, you're having a good time, you can be on your own, you can be cleaning, you can be with your friends having a good time. You can be with your family.
In Italy, as far as I know, it's hygge. It's connected to the fireplace and a cup of tea.
But
something warm when it's cold outside.
Yeah. But you also have to think about that warmth that you get from the cup of tea and the fireplace is also the warmth you can have between friends.
We are always saying the day after we meet, for example, oh, it was hyggeligt.
Yeah.
You know, it's just when you just feel like you are there at the right time with the right people, you know.
If the world was going to end in a minute,
it's like everything
all right.
Like fell in place.
Kind of.
You know. And I mean, in the end, it's about who you experience it with.
Yeah.
And not where you are.
I have been all these places for the past 9 months, and the only people who I want to be with are in Copenhagen. So why go somewhere else? At some point in time, everywhere is just a place, but the meaning of these places are the people that you meet. And it sounds really corny, but it's really, really true, and especially for me.
Tack.
Da quasi 80 anni, l'Università di Harvard sta facendo una lunga ricerca sulla felicità. A partire dal 1938, i ricercatori seguono 724 individui di diversa estrazione economica e sociale. I risultati di questa ricerca sono sorprendenti. perché a dispetto di quello che pensiamo, la felicità sembra non avere a che fare con i luoghi, con il denaro, con la professione. Il segreto della felicità sembra essere più a portata di mano di quanto immaginiamo. La felicità sta nelle relazioni, nei rapporti tra le persone.